Not an easy opponent for our first game was, together with an interim coach, but I thought our team showed really good spirit, energy, and a resolve to keep this game, within arm's length. Said on radio just a minute ago, our team didn't catch up to the speed with which Marquette plays. They play a really fluid game. It's really a pretty style of basketball. Reminds me of some of my teams from years ago, but it's a fast-paced offensive team. We made some mistakes. I thought in the second half, it was our fatigue that led to a lot of breakdowns. You saw some open shots that we were giving up after having scored baskets. So there's a lot of issues to address with this group. They've been eager to accept constructive criticism. It's been a really positive environment for the 2 days I've been with them. These two guys, I think, played really, really well. They made shots. We're going to need more from everybody. But I thought for our first night out, this team did not let a really outstanding basketball team run away with this game. We kept trying to reel it back in. So I'm proud of our effort. We have a lot of things to do. I talk about grit, discipline, toughness. This game's, we got to get in better shape, too, now after this.
Questions for Jeremiah and Jalen?
Jeremiah, you've had some tougher offensive games previously, and today you seem to get over that hump and get that monkey off your back, and you made some really good shots. What was the process like in practice to get you over that hump?
I think an important part is just having a team and a coaching staff that encourage you to continue to be confident and be aggressive. And I really didn't feel like I'm at my best when I don't feel like I have to force anything, and I didn't really feel like that. The shots were flowing in the course of the offense, so there were lanes. I just attacked the lanes when I saw them, took my open shots, just try to keep it simple.
And then Jalen, how has this week just kind of been for you, knowing that your relationship with Stubblefield going all the way back to Oregon? So just when you kind of just heard the news, how have you just kind of taken it, and how do you think the team's kind of responded?
At first, it was kind of shocking, kind of tough, on us, but we just got closer together, got stuck together, We just stuck together. That's really the coach I had for 3 years. About 3 years, he recruited me to Oregon, so that's all I really knew, at first. But got to be ready for change and adjust.
And Jeremiah, how will you guys as a team navigate this whole change?
I think leaning on one another, leaning on the coaching staff, and just trying to come together, become even closer throughout times like this. It's kind of uncharted territory for everybody, so just knowing that everybody's just trying to take it day by day, and we can always talk to the next person.
Then Jeremiah, I know it's only been a few days here, but can you just kind of speak of the differences that have been between Coach Brady and then Coach Stubblefield, and where you think this team could go forward? Because you guys did show a lot of energy and a lot of competitive spirits tonight that we really haven't seen the last few months.
I think that tonight we did a good job of trying to get player movement and ball movement. We're still adjusting. We put in some new things. We're not reinventing the wheel, but we put in some new things. So just trying to get used to running some new stuff. And I think we did a good job tonight of fighting down to the end. And that's something that we're going to continue to try to keep doing. And we're also not going to be satisfied losing by 10. We're trying to get over that hump and get some wins down the stretch.
Any other questions for us right now, please? Jalen, what was the energy within the team like today as you guys were preparing for Marquette?
I felt like today we were more connected, I would say. A little more connected. Of course, we made some mistakes. It's basketball. But I feel like as a team, we played with a little more energy, played a little harder, and we were more connected.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. You're free to go.
Good job, Joe. Good job, JT.
All right, we'll take questions for Coach Matt Brady.
Welcome, Coach. Obviously not the easiest start taking on Marquette here, but I guess what's this whole process been like for you you used to be a head coach, and now you're the assistant, and then boom, you're asked to be the interim head coach. What's this process been like for you, and just kind of speak on that?
Yeah, well, coincidentally, I went through this 2 years ago when Mark Turgeon stepped down in December. I'm grateful for the administration here for allowing me the opportunity to take over the ship in the short term. It's very natural for me to be a head coach. I'm a gym rat kind of guy. I love the game. I love connecting with young players. It's very easy for me to go into a gym and teach. I love being in the gym. I love teaching, and I like trying to connect with young people to try and make them better. We have some guys that have some skills that aren't of the level of these two guys shooting the ball. So it's a little bit of a jigsaw puzzle trying to get guys that aren't great shooters, but we need them on the court because they do other things well, and the other team knows what you don't do well. So the challenge as a head coach is when you don't have the best players, right? We don't. That's clearly evident, but we have good kids. My goal in this is to make this a really positive experience for these guys in the next 8 weeks. Whether or not that includes wins, I don't know. But I'm selling these guys truthfully on we're going to fight as hard as we can. We're going to represent the school. We're going to represent DePaul basketball. We're going to represent the Big East. We're going to be really hard out for everybody that we're going to play. It's not going to happen overnight. I said this to the team multiple times. It's going to be incremental. Made a number of small changes that are subtle but apparent to our team. There's a process to this, and we'll see what the results are going to be. What the results are going to be. But we're going to work hard as a staff. Nobody wanted this to happen. Everybody at DePaul wanted more success. I feel comfortable in the role, and I'm going to do everything I can to make these 8 weeks the best these guys can experience.
Coach, you dropped into zone quite a bit today on defense, and it seemed like they had it figured out. Why didn't you shift out of that zone and adjust?
Why did I get out of the zone? Yeah, when they pass most teams don't either shoot it well or want to try and drive it well. That team shoots it and passes. So they move well because they move well on the offensive end all the time. They're really unselfish. They love passing. When your two best players are the two best passers on the court, it's infectious. And I thought they did a really good job of just keeping moving and finding open shooters. And then I thought the kid Gold, we let Gold get some open shots because we stayed in the zone and our guys lost them. We haven't practiced the zone that much. We have a second zone, actually, that they play, 3-2, that I've played in years past. We haven't practiced it enough. We'll employ it at some point. I do want to play multiple defenses. But the first thing is we've got to get these guys, I think they're buying in. They've done it rapidly. Now I've got to get them in better shape. I've got to spend a little bit more time on how to get some of these guys better shots. We need to get more out of Deshaun Nelson. He's so up and down. He's obviously talented, but he's not consistent. That drives us all a little nuts. So for young players to understand the value of being consistent, they all want to be great, but they don't understand that being consistent is harder than being great every third night. Deshaun's a really good player every third night. We're fourth, and that's a problem for our team. We don't know what we're going to get. So there's a lot of pieces of this, but I love it. I mean, I love trying to figure this out. I love trying to help kids get better. I love talking with kids individually and trying to see if we can get this thing, all the way where we want it to be. Okay.
What was that personal moment like when you got asked to step in as interim coach?
It's a great question. So what was the moment like? I went through this 2 years ago, and it changed my career and a lot of people's lives in that room. This is a difficult decision. Decision was not made lightly. I know that from talking with our AD, that it's a hard thing for a lot of people. As fans, we all think about the players. As an adult with families, it's a difficult thing to go through. I immediately felt for the other guys in the room because this business is really difficult. And this is a great university with a proud basketball tradition. The players are going to be okay, to be honest with you. I think we're going to figure this out. We're going to get better. We're going to become much more competitive. My initial thought was everybody else in the room, the staff members. It changes lives. Everybody's going to be okay. Nobody's got cancer. But it's a difficult thing. And I give our administration a lot of credit. They knew that. I mean, it's not just the players. This impacts a lot of people. I immediately thought 2 years ago when it impacted a lot of people at Maryland. So grateful for the opportunity. Got a really good staff that's going to help all these players get through this time. We're going to get better. And this university is going to pick a great coach in March. There's a lot to love about this, this basketball potential. But I immediately felt for the staff members, both the guys that work with me every day and everybody else that affects it. It's not an easy thing, and we all want this to be at a higher level, and it will be. A coach, the administration is going to pick a great coach. Thank you, everybody. You got another question? I'm fine. I got nothing but time. No, it's all good.
Yeah. So you've mentioned this is your second interim now. I guess, do you view this as an opportunity for yourself to one day get another opportunity to be a head coach, knowing that if you can pull out a few wins in the Big East, that could speak a lot of volume? So do you want to be a coach again one day?
I want to coach.
Head coach.
So, I used to be the young guy on the staff when I was at St. Joe's and recruited some great players. Now I'm not the young guy on the staff anymore. I love what I do. I want to be Jim Boeheim. I want somebody to say, hey, coach, you're 75. Get the hell out of the gym. I want to be that coach. And I love what I do. I've had a lot of success at a lot of places. Want to keep doing it. My only thought was, and I said this to Paris Parham when I met with him individually as soon as, Mr. Peavy gave me the opportunity, I said, this is all about 13 guys and 3 walk-ons. How are we going to make these guys enjoy the game? You can't bring excitement, love, and joy to something when you're miserable, right? It's just human nature. We have to make this environment fun for them, but we got to get more out of them, right? And we all see it, like Deshaun, love him to death. I talk to him every day. I meet with him every day. I send him a text every day. We need more out of Deshaun. He's the oldest guy on the team. He's the most experienced guy. He's not the only guy. But this has got to be about the student athletes. How are we going to make these guys enjoy the process? We want them to love what happens in the next 8 months so that, the administration can retain some of these guys. It's just the nature of the business. Now, I'll be okay. I'm gonna work again next year. I'm gonna find my spot. The staff will be fine. I want these players to love playing basketball at DePaul, and it's going to happen. We're going to make strides here in the next 4 or 5 weeks.